Hey everyone, hi, hello, what is up? I hope you're all doing fantastic. Today's video was so highly requested, and by that I mean no one asked me to do this. This was 100% voluntary by me. If you don't follow me on Instagram, literally, what are you doing? Are you on crack? Literally stop whatever you're doing and go follow me. And then when you come back, we'll
carry on.
Basically, I just want to chill, I just want to talk, I just want to have a one-on-one conversation with you and just show you all how I take and edit my Instagram pics. I did a video like this a few years ago and I wanted to do it again because things are a little bit different now. I kind of spiced things up a little bit, added a little bit of flavors. So without further ado, let's get this video started. When you open up my Instagram, you can see that I mainly post two kinds of pictures. One being beautiful, magnificent photographs captured in the most glorious light that holds so much beauty, significance, and honestly should be hung in multiple art museums. And then you have pictures that aren't of me. I take all of my pictures either on my iPhone 8 Plus or on my Canon T5i, which I'm currently using to film right now. But between you and me, a lot of the pictures are taken right off my phone just because it's always on me, so I tend to go for convenience. A lot of my Instagram is solely just photography, but whenever I'm posting pictures of myself, a lot of it is taken with just a tripod and my camera on self-timer. This is really nice because I get to take as many pictures as I want in the exact angle that I want without having to inconvenience anyone. But sometimes it is nice to actually go outside with other people and have a proper photo shoot, and that's what I did last Saturday. My pals and I all went to the forest and just had a really fun day taking pictures, exploring around, and just being the adventurous, mischievous teens we are. When you're unphotogenic and unattractive, like me, the best advice I could give is to make sure that whoever is taking your picture is taking multiple pictures. I'm talking hundreds upon hundreds of photographs because one is bound to turn out to be a good 6.5 out of 10. And poses can be really hard to do on the spot as well, so I recommend doing a little bit of everything, even if it's kind of ridiculous, just because one, you'll eventually get a pic that looks really cool and candid, and two, you'll look a lot more natural and less like you're being held at gunpoint, which is exactly what we're going for. And again, not every picture is gonna turn out the way you want it to. Take these, for example. I look bad in every single one from this location, so we just had to take 100 other pictures somewhere else. And believe it or not, I think we found some that might work. The first thing I'll do is open up my photos and immediately start going through the pictures and favoriting the ones that I like, so that way it's a lot easier to go back to try to find them. And if I took pictures on my camera, I'll import them to my phone using one of these, which cost me like $30 off Apple's website, but in my opinion, this is a great investment, especially when you're out and about. Today, I'm gonna be showing you how I edit 3 different kinds of pictures, one of myself, one of a landscape, and one of myself in a landscape, so that way we have a little bit of a variety. Before I even get into the filters, I always adjust the cropping. Also, when you're posting a portrait picture to Instagram, the tallest ratio they do allow is 4:5, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make my photo that now, so that way I don't have to worry about anything getting cropped out later on. After that, it's time for the actual photo editing. Personally, I use Afterlight. I know a lot of people use Visco or Lightroom and other apps and programs, but I just don't because I don't want to. So the first thing I'll do is always up the contrast, and this just makes the darks darker and the lights lighter. Next we'll go into the filters, and the filter I always put on first is Equinox, and this just makes the greens pop. I don't like how intense it is right now, so I'm just gonna drop it just till it looks a lot more natural. Then I'll go find the filter Dallas. Shout out to all my yeehaws out there, this one's for you. And then I'll just drop this one until it looks more natural. Then I will go into the temperature, and I'll raise it just a little bit, just so it feels more warm and inviting and less dark and depressing. I think about a 9 is right where we want to have it. And because the lighting and shadows are kind of awkward in this, I am going to up the brightness a little bit so you can see my face a little bit better. And now I'm going to counteract what I just did by dropping the exposure, and this just makes the blacks a lot blacker and it just looks better. I don't know how else to explain it. The key I found to having a very consistent Instagram theme is just editing each picture the same, because otherwise you're gonna have so much varying colors and contrast, it's just gonna look very off. And as you can see, it does not look the same as it did before, but it looks like I didn't even edit it at all. This is really important because it highlights all of the important parts of the picture without it being too distracting. And now that I have my picture the exact way I want it, I will hit done, save it in the max file, and we're complete. The next picture we're gonna be editing is a landscape, and I picked this picture just because I really like its simplicity. So the first thing we're gonna do is always crop it, set it to 4:5 so that way I know nothing's gonna get cropped out. I wanna get the tree branches out of it because that looks kind of bad, so we're just gonna pretend like that's not even in the picture at all. I'm also gonna turn it a bit just because it looks straighter that way, and we are good to go. Gonna open up Afterlight, find the picture. Look what happens to the trees when I up the contrast. It makes it look so much fuller, and like there's more leaves on it than there actually are, and that's the key to lying through your photography. Next, we're gonna add Equinox, and just look. It makes the blues bluer, the greens greener, and it just makes it look more like an attractive landscape. I'm obviously gonna lower it though because it looks really intense, but 50% kind of works. It kind of slaps. Then we're gonna add Dallas. This also makes the blues bluer and adds a warmer tone to the overall picture. And now we're actually gonna warm the picture by adjusting the temperature. And because the contrast on this picture is so high, dropping the exposure is just gonna make it look not like trees. So we're not gonna drop it by that much, maybe by just like 8. I mean, it doesn't do a lot, but I think it makes all the difference. And looking at this picture straight on, it looks completely unedited, but then when you look at it, you can see we have done so much to it.
Isn't that insane?
Like, do you see that? Are you kidding me? Without seeing the unedited version, you would literally think this is just an organic, natural picture, but no, we're killing it right now. So I am just gonna save that in high quality, and we are done with that. The last picture we're gonna be editing is myself within a landscape, and this is really nice because you're getting a 2-for-1 deal. You're getting a really attractive person and a really attractive landscape, so I love that for us. First things first, we're gonna fix the cropping. I hate this like gravel path right over here, so we're just totally going to crop around that. In the picture itself, I'm actually really small, so I'm just gonna zoom in a bit, and I'm actually gonna put myself on the right side of the screen just so I'm not in the direct middle. I wanna make sure I keep the tops of the trees in the picture because otherwise it just looks like a bunch of really fat toothpicks poking out of the ground. And I think right about there is exactly where we want it. So now we're gonna head into Afterlight and edit away. First things first, up the contrast, and just look at that wood, getting dark as ever. As I up the contrast, you can see I blend more and more in with the background, which is not that good. We kind of want to stick out, we kind of want to shine, we want to be our own shining star. So if I knew I was going to be taking pictures in front of these trees, I would have wore something a lot brighter, like white or yellow. I am going to bring the contrast right about here. It does make the greens a lot greener and the wood a lot darker. Then we're going to go into our filters and add Equinox. It's just going to make the leaves of the tree just thrive with green. Like, are you kidding? It's thriving. Then we're going to add Dallas just to make the blues a lot bluer and make the colors look a little bit more natural. Now we're going to go into our temperature, warm it up a little bit, make everything look a little more lively. I'm gonna drop the exposure right about here, and I think we got a finished picture. As you all can see, the before and after, I didn't do that much, and that's still exactly what we're going for. I don't want the picture to just make your eyes bleed. I want it to look like it's not even edited at all, and I think we definitely achieved that. So I'm just gonna save it as a max image, and we are done. Now that we finished editing our pictures, I wanna show you all what they look like in the app preview, and this app basically just lets you know what your pictures are gonna look like on Instagram before you actually post them. One of my biggest no-nos in terms of posting pictures on Instagram is making sure that a picture of myself does not touch another picture of myself, because in my opinion, it just looks disgusting. For example, when I import this picture, do you see how it looks bad? Like, there's 3 of me all right next to each other, and some people can pull that off on their Instagram. I can't. A picture like this is different because although I'm in the picture, I'm not the focal point of the picture. So a picture like this, I could totally see myself posting on Instagram. So I think that's actually what I might end up doing. I know that a lot of what I said has been very extreme, but that's just the way I think. I'm just a perfectionist, and that's just the way I like having my Instagram look. But the important part is that I'm having fun, because photography is supposed to be fun. Instagram, social media, it's supposed to be fun. So as long as I'm not losing sight of that, I don't really think there's much of a problem there. Overall, that is how I became the Instagram legend that I am. And as long as you have a style of editing you like, you're taking pictures that you like, and you're posting pictures that you like, you can become an Instagram legend too. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. Maybe you learned a thing or two. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe, tap that bell. All of my social media is linked in the description. Drop your Instagram in the comments below. I want to go check them out. With all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next week with a brand new video. Bye.